One and all, to our first ever student broadcast coming to you live from our studio at the Art Institute of Atlanta in downtown Dunwoody. I'd like to formally welcome you. I'm your host, Jessica Smith, and this is News You Can Use. We have a lot in store for you today. We're going to be showing our first alumni special feature with Lance Darden, former AI student and now animator for Turner Studios.
My name is Lance Darden. I graduated in the fall of 2006. My major was media arts and animation. Lately, since it's the beginning of the year, it's a little bit slower, so we've been doing a lot of inside projects, which are, basically, during our busiest time, we're working on everybody else's projects, but when we get free time, we kind of thought about, how about we use our free time to start developing some of our own ideas and concepts. So we've started a couple of little animation shorts that are conceived of ideas, from everybody put together, and we work on that on our free time. And so hopefully, when we get more free time, we can actually finish it and apply it to our portfolio and kind of show, the full potential of Turner Studios, not just using, somebody else's ideas, Cartoon Network's ideas, or the NBA's ideas, but actually using our own ideas.
Hello. You may be saying to yourself, "Self, look at this freaky alien." To which I would say, yeah.
Being here has definitely taught me a lot. I'm surrounded by some of the best, animators, artists, designers, and it's just one big mixing pot, because whatever you lack in, there's somebody here that is an expert at it. And if you really want to grow in that area, you can just go over there and just talk to them. And being here, everybody's very friendly. Everybody has a common goal of, trying to outdo the last project that we worked on. So I really just like the atmosphere. Very cool, laid back. Everybody's really cool to work with. No complaints at all.
Oh, you look just like your daddy. Got an S-curl just like your daddy.
Boing. Boing.
Portfolio experience, very, very excruciating experience. The toughest class I've had to take, but throughout, the 4 years, it kind of prepared me for portfolio. I was able to, start planning ahead of time. Like, I knew portfolio was coming up, so I knew that I needed a short story. So I basically started conceiving ideas and conveying things that I knew I wanted to have in my reel towards the end. So I started really building and developing my portfolio, 2 years prior to actually beginning my portfolio show as far as the story. And by the time I got to portfolio, I had a lot of my concepts already nailed down. I really didn't want to be stressing my, portfolio year, because a lot of students, stress their senior year. So I wanted to make sure that, I had everything planned out and, easy, relaxed. I wanted to enjoy my graduation, and that helped me to win, Best of Show. So.
So big and strong, just like your dad.
It taught me about deadlines. That's probably one of the most important aspects of being in this industry, is being able to have all your work done by your deadlines, because clients pay money and time is money, and if you don't have things done by the deadline, you can just kiss your career goodbye. Portfolio, definitely you had to have your stuff done, showing your progression throughout the quarter, and it just helped me get in the mindset of, okay, really timing myself, knowing how long it takes to accomplish one thing and move on to the next. So it really correlates to being in this industry. It's actually more severe, because you don't perform by the deadline in a portfolio show. You may not graduate, but you don't stay on top of your deadlines in this industry, you could lose your job. So
I wind up in release, and the freaking controller flies out of my hand. Then I hear, "Yo!" It's Muffy, Karen's cat. The controller hit her right between the eyes.
Well, upcoming graduates in animation need to know this book back and front. This is the Animation Survival Kit. I got this book in my traditional 2D animation class, and these principles will never change. If you know these and you apply these principles from this book to your animation, you will do well. If you understand acting, you understand weight and volume. I know graduates have taken life drawing classes throughout the course of their education, but I would highly advise, once you graduate, don't forget about those life drawing sessions. There are life drawing sessions available in the city, you know, for like $4, you know, to come and draw a model, because those are skill sets that really will help your animation. And I know, you know, when you're animation major graduating, you know, you're just like, hey, I want to get work. But I would stress that you need to continue to try and push your own skill levels, because when you go work for somebody, you are working on their ideas. You're working on, you know, projects that, you know, somebody else, you know, thought of, and you're assisting with that project, which is good. It helps you. But I stress to, you know, all graduates to not stop pushing yourself after you graduate, because it's easy to get comfortable when you get a job and, you know, start making good money. So definitely continue to learn, imbibe really good animation software and books, continue to take life drawing sessions, continue to push your creativity and your storytelling abilities, because those are things that are going to help you not go work for somebody but be able to work for yourself. I guess famous words of Walt Disney, if you dream it, you can have it. And I really believe that. You know, I told myself that I was going to have the best portfolio at AI, and I did it, you know, and I pushed myself to do it. So it's really, whatever you dream, you can actually have. So I would just tell, you know, students to definitely keep that in mind. Always strive to be better than you thought you could be, because your mind is so powerful, and a lot of people lose sight of that, and they discredit their ideas and think that they're not good or anything. So I would just tell people to really push, because you never know what could be a golden idea, you know, unless you put it out there. You know, sometimes you might have to go through being rejected, you know, several times, but the truth of the matter is some of the biggest, you know, stars, directors of our time were turned down and rejected. George Lucas was rejected several times. You know, Kanye West was rejected by like 20 record labels or something like that before he found success. So definitely tell people not to give up the first time they fail. You know, just dust yourself off, man, get back up. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's very true. And I think it's the key to success.
We are go in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, it's great to see alumni finding success in the real world. Lance is definitely doing some amazing things. We'll be right back after this break.
This is Jimmy Carter. I know the importance of being prepared for any emergency. Did you know that every 2 seconds in our country, someone needs blood? Now that's a real crisis. By becoming a regular blood donor with the American Red Cross, you can ensure that blood is available whenever and wherever it's needed. To donate blood, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or stop by your local Red Cross Blood Donor Center. Together, we can save a life.
As we get older, our chances of developing breast cancer increase. However, every year, more women continue to live meaningful lives because their breast cancer was discovered and treated early. Every woman deserves to be healthy, and a good way to make sure you don't have breast cancer is to have a mammogram every year. If you're over 40, call about a free mammogram. Do it for yourself and the people you love. Every woman counts, every year.
Welcome back to the show. Well, let's take a walk up to the 5th floor, aka our prestigious International Culinary School, where we are going to be highlighting regional foods.
Hi, my name is Keisha Hunter, and I'm a student here at the International Culinary School at the Art Institute of Atlanta. Today, I will be making a dish from the Deep South, caramelized Vidalia onion tart, served with a roasted tomato sauce and green onion and basil oil. Well, let's get started. We'll start with what takes the longest first, which would be our roasted tomato sauce. So what I have here is a lined half sheet pan with parchment paper, and I've already taken my tomatoes and have them quartered. And we're just gonna line them neatly on here, and we'll take a little bit of our red onion that I've had cut up and quartered as well. And then we have about half a teaspoon of thyme, and it's also been chopped. And then we also have half a teaspoon of rosemary. So we're looking for like lots of aromatics, and then we're gonna roast this, and then these are gonna get caramelized, and they're gonna be so yummy and really good. And then we have about 1 tablespoon of oil that we're just gonna drizzle over it. And we'll just get it all coated very nicely. And then I'll just take a little bit of salt and pepper here and just kind of sprinkle it over it so that it gets a little flavor. And then we also have black pepper, and we're just gonna do that until we feel like it's a little bit. And then toss it over, and then we're gonna place it into a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. And we're just gonna go ahead and let that cook off for a little while. And we have another item that also needs to be roasted, and that is our garlic and our shallots for our custard. So we're just gonna pop these in here, the same bit, a little bit of olive oil, just to coat, salt and pepper, and you kind of want to make a little tint, which I like to do is I just fold it up here and then just roll that down and then kind of place it. So what's going to happen is that it's going to roast inside of this as well as steam, and then when it comes out, it'll be very nicely caramelized. And I'm just going to place it alongside the roasted vegetables that we have going on there. So what I have here is a little bit to show you what type of color we're looking for when you finish roasting it, because that nice caramelization is going to give it a nice sweet taste to it, and also a nice smoky roasted filling. And now we'll move on to the tart. And with the tart, we have here, this is a pastry called puff pastry. And puff pastry is really neat because it puffs up and it gets very flaky. So what I'm gonna do with this is just kind of push this down. And that's what we want it to look like. We need to take a fork and dock it, which means we're just poking holes in it so that the steam evaporates and that it won't puff all the way out and you won't have a nice tart shell. So then we're just gonna place this back in and press it down. And right here in this foil, I have just an assortment of beans, and I just put them in foil, and we use this to weight down the dish. So when it is baking, it's not gonna puff up and you won't be able to put your custard into it. So we're just gonna put this like this, and we'll place it on the dish and pop it in the oven on 375 for about 10 minutes or until it's done and it's a nice golden brown. And then when you're finished, this is what your final product will look like. And this is the puff pastry. As you can tell, it's not completely done. All we did was par bake it because we're gonna bake it again once we do our custard. So now we're gonna make our custard. So for our custard, we start out with 2 eggs. And then we're going to beat these eggs. I have a whisk around here somewhere. Here we are. Just kind of beat the eggs, break them up, get them nicely incorporated. And then we have about a 3/4 cup of cream. And you just kind of whisk it all in together. And this is a very simple uncooked custard, pretty much with cream and eggs. And then we're gonna add about a tablespoon of chives that have been finely diced. And then that's about a tablespoon. And then we'll just whip this up. just like so. And then you also want to season with a little salt and pepper. Y'all have to always remember to season, because, you know, down south, we don't want our food to be bland. So now we want to caramelize our onions. So what we have here are our red onion, our Vidalia onion, very important, and our leeks. And I'll show you all how to julienne leeks right now. And you just take the leek, we're gonna cut this. Now you wanna protect your fingers and make sure you don't, you know, those are very important when you're cooking. You don't want people to eat them. And leeks are really easy to cut because they're already, you know, they already come layered, like so. And then that's our julienne cut. And now I'm going to put a little bit of butter and some oil into the pan here. Nice little sizzle action going on. Just give them a quick toss and add our leeks, which we julienne cut it earlier. And this is kind of what they're going to look like once they're done. You see the nice golden color? And then I also did the same thing with my red onions because it's the same process. Okay, so we already have our par-baked tart, which is here. And we're going to take our onions, our caramelized red onion, just take them a nice little bit and sprinkle them down on the bottom. And then we're going to take our Vidalia onions and just put a little bit in. We have to take our shallot and just kind of mush it up and spread it around. And the shallot's also in the onion family, so this is a very oniony dish. Hope you have some mince afterwards. So, and then here is our custard mixture. We're just gonna pour that on top. Just kind of pour it and just give it a little shake if you need to. Okay. And that should be plenty, plenty, plenty. Okay, and then we're gonna place this into a 350-degree oven until, obviously I have onions on the brain, until it's nice and golden brown on top and it's set. And this is what the final product looks like.
Oh man, that food looks good. Well, I'm gonna get something to eat and we'll be right back.
Visit flexsmart.gov/listen.
We're back again. And if you weren't able to go to the finale at the Plaza Theater of the screenings of our Sweet 16 film winners from Campus Movie Fest, we'll recap the events of the night for you. So let's go see what happened at the premiere.
Interesting. I really don't have any idea what any of the other competition videos are going to look like. You know, I don't know what kind of level of production or story or that kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting to see, just what level, everybody's videos are at.
Did you have a good time doing it?
Oh yeah.
Did you do it again?
Yeah, I would totally do it again.
and again, and again. Yeah.
You think you're here to win tonight?
I'd like to think so.
All right, my name is Kelsey Phillips, and I'm going to be hosting and emceeing.
And my name is Mohammed Young, and I work for Campus Movie Fest, and I'm also co-hosting with Kelsey. We've never held an event at the Plaza Theater. It's been really great, though. They've been really welcoming, and it's a really cool venue to have an event, especially for someplace like the Art Institute of Atlanta. Yeah. Now, some of you might be asking yourself, what is Campus Movie Fest? What is CMF? We are the world's largest student film festival. We've been running the event for the past 7 years, started at Emory University in Atlanta. Now we travel to over 40 colleges and universities across the globe, giving students the opportunity to make their own 5-minute short film in just 1 week.
I think we took it to a pretty cool level as far as production, camera moves, and trying to shot HD, all that type of thing. So I would hope we'd be one of the top 16.
All the movies that get turned in, we watch every single movie that gets turned in. We screen them to make sure that all the content is within the Campus Movie Fest guidelines. That first round of judging then moves on to a panel of students and staff chosen at that school.
Oh, wait, oh. What? 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 Oh, God, I pulled my back again. Of course you did. You always do when we have dirty work that needs to be done. Guess.
Smoke damages the painting.
I may have misplaced a few things. Yes, it's finally over.
Hey.
It is such a relief to finally get him and all his junk out of the house. Oh, yeah, I'll start dating again. You know, people always said I married beneath me. Well, actually, it's what you said, Brenda. But, yeah, I'll probably find myself.
I don't know about you. I think the boss is flushing his money down the toilet with those anger management classes.
Yeah? Yeah, you tell him that. He'll probably flush you down the toilet.
We gotta bring Cole.
Interesting.
What did it look like?
Oh, really, John? 'Cause it looks like you just punched out your boss and tied him up. Assault, battery, kidnapping. You're a walking hat trick, John. And I went in.
Wait, where are you going? What do you mean you went in?
It means I went in. I want to be involved.
You can't be involved.
Yes, I can. And I have the perfect solution. We have to kill him now.
Did you hear that? I didn't hear anything. All I hear is you yelling at me when my back's hurting. Can't help that.
No. I heard something out there.
You're just being paranoid. Come on, let's put this.
Don't shoot my painting!
It was either going into a 50-foot hole or laying down the bicycle and maybe sliding under the cars. I got hit. It was about 65.
What do you mean you went in?
It means I want in. I want to be involved.
You can't be involved.
Yes, I can. And I have the perfect solution.
Before we leave, we just want to say thanks so much to the Art Institute of Atlanta. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys, and the movies you made were absolutely tremendous, and I can guarantee you'll have an awesome showing at the Atlanta Grand Finale. So, big round of applause to all the movie makers.
Congratulations to the winners, and thanks to everyone who participated. If your film wasn't screened, there's always next year, so stay on top of your game and stay focused. We'd like to give special thanks to Lance Darden and Turner Studios for volunteering their time. Also, thanks to the culinary students for all their delicious cuisine. This is an exciting time for AIA Media and the Art Institute of Atlanta, so be sure to tune in next time for news you can use. I'm your host, Jessica Smith. This is AIA Edition. Thanks for watching.